Hello again, everybody. I am here with Kanashii, someone who's appeared on this channel before, but we also do a lot of casting together. So Kanashii, please say hi to everybody.
Hello, everybody, and we are here going to be casting some Duraludon today, and I'm really excited just because, first of all, this is going to be our first look at this Pokemon, and we also have somebody else who we're actually highlighting today.
That's right. I was thinking about this player, and they have appeared in the top, usually it's like 50, 55 or so, above that, you know, all throughout Season 3 especially. And so Kanashii and I kind of agreed. You probably say this name Sui. I'm just kind of making sure. I always want to respect everybody and pronounce their names correctly, right? But Kanashii, I think you and I agreed on that.
Yeah, it just makes it a little bit easier for us. But once again, you see the 113 rollout, playing it nice and safe here. And once again, Duraludon has like a really interesting moveset. We're all still getting used to it, so we'll see if anything interesting comes out of this one particular game.
Yeah, definitely. And there's an early KO actually on the Gossifleur right now. That's kind of an interesting one because you have to think about, you don't really need too many levels as that Eldegoss player. You like to get these early KOs, although it comes with kind of just that, like, well, there's two sides to the coin, right? So you can get KO'd early on and then come back pretty early and make it in time for those Bs and stuff. So at this point, you haven't missed too much if you're that Gossifleur right now, but obviously no one likes to be KO'd, right? You know, so there's just sort of that trade-off here.
Yeah, and it also depends on how quickly you want to get your either Leaf Tornado or Pollen Puff. It does help out with timing. If you obviously have better levels, you get more. But on the other hand, if you happen to go down, it's really not the end of the world.
I think that's the main point, right? You know, is when it's that early on. But anyway, here looking at Sui as the Duraludon, we are going to see pretty soon. We're actually seeing the opposition. They are going to run Dragon Pulse right there. This was a discussion, I think, Kanashii and I, just before hitting record, was like, well, which one do you really go? And that's still being fleshed out. At the time of this recording, it's March 15th. I'm not sure exactly on the upload date, but should be soon after that. So Duraludon still very fresh on all these teams' minds.
Yeah, we literally just got it yesterday. A lot of teams are testing out which one should we try to run. As you see, you know, the Metal Claw and the Dragon Pulse being pulled out there. We've seen a lot of teams in at least pub servers use the Flash Cannon as a kind of mini Cramorant ultimate. It's just a good way to like zone people out.
Yeah. But
right now, Dragon Pulse in this game seems to be the way how these two players want to run it. And I guess with the correct amount of support, they could really pull it off.
You know something we learned also with Cramorant's Gatling Bolt missile, that Unite move is just, and there it is, there's that Dragon Pulse by the way, but if they were to run that Flash Cannon, you can actually still run the eject button, but Duraludon has its sort of own eject button, you could say, with the use of Dragon Tail. Now, that's generally something you could pair together. We may not see that today though, because we're getting Sui and the opposing Duraludon right there. They're both, you know, confirmed for Dragon Pulse. So let's get it, everybody. There's the next set of Bs right now, and then we'll obviously be looking at Dreadnought and Rotom.
Yeah, another thing that I wanted to point out in this is the Alolan Ninetales. There was a little bit of a buff as we see the Eldegoss goes down there. That the Alolan Ninetales now hops right before using Aurora Veil, so it might give you a little bit of mobility in order to get into the right spot to use it.
That's right. I think we should just discuss that for maybe just about 10 seconds. I like that Unite is changing some of these Pokemon that have been there since the beginning. The main one would be Charizard, right? We saw that it became more fluid. I'm going to credit you with that word, actually, to describe it. It's the perfect way to describe it. So any thoughts on that, just, you know, with these small micro changes that actually make a big deal?
I like them. If anything, it's just showing that the community, or they're actually listening to the community. You see the Hyperspace Hole going to be able to take him out of the fight for a second, trying to burst down that Venusaur in the backline, but already doing a ton of damage, just trying to keep them off of the edge. Maybe try to grab a couple more kills behind their backline so that they don't have this front goal to help them contest for this Dreadnought. Meanwhile, the Lucario is still just down at bottom, getting whatever they want, but they are just trying to break this as quickly as they can. It's just a Slowbro. Fluffernutter getting clapped there, not going to be able to get out of there, and the rest of the team is still applying pressure, but Dreadnought still hasn't made quite a ton of progress here. It's only... Okay, there we go. Now it's down.
Just as we say it, yeah. It's for that last little burst down. That's the commentator's curse. Whenever you're talking, it could happen in 10 seconds. But anyway, you're so right. You know, that was actually massive Venusaur plays earlier, and the Venusaur was the one now down for purple, but they're positioned pretty well. I mean, we're looking at 1-1-2 as their score, so 112. to 17. So this is pretty good for a mid-game. You know, you'll be sitting nice with that kind of score. Look what's happening on the top lane, though. We can see it on the mini-map. Yep, that's going to confirm Slowbro will go ahead and get that 25, ladies and gentlemen. So hopefully we're in for some kind of knockdown, drag-out fights here coming up, entering that mid-game.
Yeah, just trying to continue on a little bit of pressure on the lane right there. There's a Revolving Ruin continuing on forward, grabbing 2 of them already. Looking at the Hoopa next, and he's going to go down as well. Looking at Note now. Stealth Rocks trying to zone him off, and the dunk is going to come through for the Venusaur as they continue on that pressure and damage. But Sui getting chipped away here by the lonely Ninetales, but will the team be able to turn around? They are going to, and they're going to try to continue to apply this pressure back at top goal.
Once again, we're looking at Venusaur on the mad tear for this team, and that really was a team effort, so good job on all of them. They kept Duraludon alive right there, which was sweet. And so now we're seeing a little bit more pressure. Lucario's got to escape this, and Lucario, not sure what's going to happen there. That could be, you know, I do believe that there were actually certain bugs and things with this new patch as of yesterday, so hopefully it wasn't one of those. That's going to also be devastating right here, because this top lane now, fresh for the Rotom for Orange Team, also to be just hit in general.
Yeah, the Orange Team is just rotating up here. They're saying, hey, we did lose out on Dreadnought. Can we get the final one here? They're not going to be able to, as the Purple Team is going to be able to steal that up. But everybody else is grouped up here. You do see the fight breaking out as Note trying to figure out where they want to go with this, as the Purple Team is going to regroup, make them deal with Rotom, and maybe apply more pressure down to bottom.
Absolutely right. Bottom is the kind of the next thing to look at, because we got that Dreadnought entering the map right here. It was just a 3-2-1 as I was talking. And so Purple looking to early burst that down, but we are now seeing there's that Rings Unbound from Hoopa, and then we've got the Ruin, right? The Revolving Ruin. So that was just massive there for Orange, and then actually being turned around, though. So that got completely flipped upside down. You know, I think they tried to, like, make this big push and say, let's teleport everybody in. Look at how Purple responded, man. That's going to be a KO streak of 4 right here for Sui. It's a good job. I mean, lots of these penta KOs, quadruple KOs. You know, this Purple team definitely came to play.
Yeah, and they know that if they give the kills to their damage dealers, they're going to get more levels, which just means that it's going to be harder for them to, harder for the opposing team to really just close out on them, as they do find the one lurking around in their jungle. That is still going to be a lot of resources taken away from them, but the Purple team so far just playing it really safe and playing together, getting whatever they need, and just taking up front goals. So if Orange needs to do anything different, it's more of just trying to play for this last fight for Zapdos. Maybe just try to save up their ultimates and get ready for this final fight.
That's definitely a good analysis. I mean, you look at this, just Purple is really kind of outplaying them in a lot of the micro sense, and even the macro when you think about that too. But it's just like what we notice, I think you're right, it's going to come down to the Zap play, but we're seeing now that the bottom lane's going to be broke right there. Hoopa is going to throw down the hyperspace on the goals, and so right now it's just sort of like, okay, this is that ambiguous time right before Zapdos where we're all either farmed up or we're adapting to some kind of assault that's happening on either of the paths. You know, it could be top path, bottom path, or whatever. There is a Rotom right now, but looking like obviously no one's really going to go for that. You only would have like 8-9 seconds maybe for it, so the team would have had to have been there right away. So Kanashii looks like we're going to enter that final stretch.
Yeah, we have that telekinesis going to start off here as they're trying to burst down that Lucario using the Aura Cannon. They are going to get that. The Revolving Ruin dealing a lot of damage. The Hoopa Unbound is also going to be able to teleport the teammates back here, but how is that going to help you when your team is getting shredded down here by the Purple team? They have so much damage, and all of it is just going to go straight into Zapdos as well and apply even more pressure towards this endgame.
And look at that. That would be the white flag, ladies and gentlemen. So obviously that's going to be a Purple victory. We'll see the final score here in the breakdown. Kanashii, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head, you could say, because that analysis of, well, it would come down to the Zapdos play. Purple, really, how they just were posturing around every bit, I guess, of that match. Like, they just had it all together for the most part. So Orange really kind of on their heels, right? They were backed up against a wall often. Yeah,
that was the right play to just apply pressure, not allow them to play the game that they want to overall. As you see how much damage that Venusaur has been doing, along with Sui, just applying a lot of pressure into that back line and dealing damage.
Yeah, look at that.
Pushing them off of where they wanted to be. And, you know, it really did come down to that last fight. Instead of posturing for Rotom, they decided to go for Zapdos, and that was the right play, because if they gave up the other one, the game could have been put on its head.
That's right, 111k damage for Sweet. It's a very nice repping that Duraludon right now. Early look at Duraludon. We'll see more, I'm sure, in the coming weeks and months. But ladies and gentlemen, please go ahead and listen to Kanashii now. I do just want to plug that he's got the Poke concepts. He may talk about it a little bit. We'll try to be brief here, but definitely if you're into kind of those like theory, even if not, I mean really just watch these videos, but like especially the theories about which new Pokemon would come into Pokemon Unite, Kanashii's all over that, so I'll let you go ahead, plug yourself, where can we find you, all that.
Yeah, if you guys want to hear more Pokemon Unite content, feel free to follow me on YouTube. I am just Kanashii over there. I do the Poke Concepts and the Unite Tonight series where I discuss, fun topics in Pokemon Unite, and hopefully we get to upload weekly or bi-weekly. It really just depends on the tournament schedule and the work schedule, but hopefully we can keep pumping out more of those, and we'll have more casts along with Dr. Kendo on this channel too.
Very nice. So everybody, thank you so much for viewing, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.